You just never know what goes on behind closed doors, behind the white picket fence, the manicured lawns. On the outside, everybody puts on a good face. I mean, think about it. Life looks just peachy keen, right? We all go to church and everything's fine. You look at your neighbor next to you right now, everything looks fine. But then some people can wind up looking wonderful one minute and a whole lot different the next. That is your mugshot, right? And this happened after you and your mother-in-law got into a huge fight, and she called the cops and had you arrested, fingerprinted, and booked, correct?
Yes.
And she says that you attacked her, grabbed her arm, made her bleed, and pushed her down to the floor. You say she attacked you holding one of your children and tried to choke you.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. This isn't good.
No.
This isn't good. Let's take a look at this story.
Ted and I have been married for just over 7 years and have 2 beautiful children.
Randy, give me a hug.
My mother and my wife actually got along very well.
We were very, very close.
When our oldest daughter was born, it was absolutely the turning point. Any decision that involves my daughter, my mother would like to control.
Catherine disagrees with us on almost every aspect of how we choose to raise our children, whether it's what they eat, when they nap, how long they nap for. My mother-in-law definitely feels that I'm not a proper wife and mother. It's built a lot of tension. I bit my tongue for a long time.
The day that Maria and I had our altercation changed my life.
On that day, I had come downstairs.
She had breast augmentation done.
Maria was complaining that she felt Ted was having an affair. I walked in the kitchen and she said, he's been effing his girlfriend all week. It really startled me, the language that she was using in front of the children.
She began yelling at me, saying that I didn't deserve Ted, that I didn't deserve the children, and that she would do whatever she had to do to take my children from me. Through the entire altercation, she was holding my 1-year-old daughter.
I managed to break away from her, and she got behind me and shoved me down on the kitchen floor.
She slipped, and she fell.
I said, Maria, what is wrong with you? She told me that I was a piece of shit. I wasn't a good wife, a good person. I pushed her against the wall.
She could have grabbed my arm, my shirt, my hair, but she didn't. She grabbed my throat.
She reached and dug her nails into my arm, puncturing my arm pretty severely.
Blood started running.
I was scared, I was nervous, but I made up my mind, as God is my witness, it'll be over my dead body before I leave those children in there with her.
When I called home, I was just shocked to hear what was going on. She began referring to my wife as a crazy bitch, and my wife began to refer to my mother as an old crazy bitch. My mother said, "You're a crazy bitch, I'm gonna bring you down."
I got home, I called 911 and told the lady I did need to talk with the policeman.
When I opened my door and saw the police officer, I was terrified. He said he was arresting me for assault and battery. They fingerprinted me, and I think the first time I lost it was when they were getting ready to take my mugshots. I just kept thinking, I am a mother to 2 beautiful children. I have a career. I live in a beautiful home. I look like I'm trash.
I put my life on the line that day, and I would do it again.
My mom really thrives on being the victim.
The judge said I was guilty. It was my word against my mother-in-law's, and I was the liar. That's why she convicted me, and that's hard to swallow because I was the one telling the truth that day.
So what is it that you're threatening her with to ruin her life?
I'm not threatening her with anything.
Well, what is it you're going to tell me today that's going to ruin
I
her life?
don't want to tell you what she said to me. She's 29, almost 30 years old. I don't want her to go the rest of her life having the things that she said to me on national television. I don't want her to say it.
You want to just tell me secretly?
That would be fine.
Okay. All right.
She told me.
might think it's funny.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to ask you to say it.
And I'll tell you what.
I'm not going to ask you to say it. Y'all want to know what I think about this? I think you guys have gotten into a situation where you've got no boundaries. The fact that you have let a family dispute get to the point that you've turned it over to third-party judicial forces, that's a bad thing. That's inviting the government into your home. And now your daughter-in-law has a criminal record, and she doesn't like that.
Sir.
Okay, but let me finish. So somehow or another, this thing has gotten way out of whack. You had the ability to defuse this at the time, but you got angry, correct?
Yep. I could have just gone upstairs.
Once you get married, right, wrong, or indifferent, fair or unfair, if there is conflict between your mother or your father and your wife, if there's conflict between your mother and your father and your husband, it's your job to fix it.
I can't be in the same room as her at the best for 2 years, because I can't put myself in the position that she can call the police on me again, and so that's the issue. My other issue with my children adore her. My children love her.
I love those children.
She
with
loves
all
my children.
heart.
But
And
I can't risk
I
her
love you,
making
Maria.
comments to my children about me. I cannot do it.
Now, Amanda says that she hates her meddling, controlling, know-it-all mother-in-law. She says that her mother-in-law is out to totally destroy their relationship, and she says that it's beginning to work. Now, both sides say the other is psychotic.
My mother-in-law is a psychotic woman and a control freak.
My daughter-in-law, she's totally unpredictable, especially when she's drunk.
Yeah, I was drunk last night because I can't handle you. My mother-in-law drives me absolutely crazy.
She really has emotional problems.
She's a miserable human being. She's a bitch. I just don't respect her.
She does not have much education.
They do talk French when I'm around. Very difficult with the French speaking. It just feels like chaos.
She gets upset if I just say one sentence. She blows up for everything.
Yeah, you are being ridiculous because I'm married to your son. I don't have to. When my mother-in-law walks through the door, I feel like I could explode. If something doesn't go her way, she starts freaking out. She's also thrown matches all over the floor, pretending that she's gonna start the house on fire. The night before we were married, she threw a prenup, faxed it over, and all of a sudden the rules just started coming in.
My mother can be very pushy.
Oh, and here are the cigarettes she smokes.
It's none of her business what I do. I'm an adult, I can smoke. If I wanted to sit and criticize everything she did, it'd be too long of a list. My mother-in-law has a key to the house and can come and go whenever. You come in here and you think that you can do whatever.
Have you ever asked me for the privilege to live in my house?
Well, no.
You know what? All right, this is gonna really get nasty. One day I came home and my drawer was empty. My mother-in-law decided that she wanted to move my underwear and socks into another room. She calls all the time, 20 to 30 times a day.
My mother is borderline stalker-ish. My mother called us and she said she was gonna come down on Valentine's Day. She wanted to take me out to dinner without my wife.
I bought this house before Pierre knew his wife. They are draining my finances.
If my mother-in-law thinks that I'm mooching off of her, she definitely is crazy.
Amanda married my son because she assumed he had money, which has been a burden. My son jumps for every little wish she expresses. He's like a slave. He behaves like a slave.
Pierre's scared to stand up to his mom. She does basically control money and assets.
I'm okay with the price I have to pay for the luxuries that I have here, thanks to my mother. She bought me a Mercedes. My wife has a much bigger problem accepting the financial help that my mother gives. It would be difficult to choose if I had to choose between the two.
If he stays with Amanda, he's not going to inherit my money.
I'm contemplating on getting a divorce.
So I have decided to sell the house unless there is a major change that occurs after the input of DrPhil.
Now, Amanda says that she can't stand it when her husband and mother-in-law talk to each other in French, so she won't understand. You don't speak French.
No, I
and
don't
you
know.
two talk in French in front of her. Amanda, her husband, Pierre, and mother-in-law all went to dinner. You're right. We invited you to dinner. Every time Amanda got up from the table, they would switch to speaking in French. So, have you ever wanted to be a fly on the wall? We arranged to have a French translator at dinner, in a way. Take a look.
This is the booth where Amanda and her husband and mother-in-law will be seated.
All right, here they come. Let's do it.
I had to excuse myself, but really I was going to the back room to get wired up and an earpiece in my ear.
This you're going to get in your ear so that the translator will be able to talk to you while you're at dinner.
She say that he can't stay with a girl like that. She eats in a really bad manner. She's strange. She's got an alcohol problem. She's saying she has already ordered a second glass of wine. She's probably going to order a third glass of the bar.
When I heard my mother-in-law saying stuff about my drinking, I just wish she would realize that, yeah, I do order a lot of drinks. It's because of her, and I really don't care for her opinion.
She's saying you cannot find worse than her, you can only find better.
I don't know who the hell she thinks she is. She doesn't even know me, so she shouldn't really even judge me.
She's saying that she has studied psychology and psychiatry, and that this girl has problems.
When I heard her talking about how she thinks I'm nuts and crazy, I wanted to take my glass of wine and throw it in her face.
I've never seen a woman like that before. She's got big issues. I told you, Mom, she's very nervous, and with this smoking, she's totally sick. Go on the internet, you can definitely meet somebody else.
When I heard her saying he needs to go on the internet to find somebody else, that pretty much pissed me off, and it got to my boiling point. That's just going over the edge.
All the women in the States are all like that, they're all crazy. He's defending her. She's complaining about that bag, and he's saying that he is actually the one who bought it to her. He said he had to buy her a bag because her bag was so old, with cigarette burns. He's saying that she looked like trailer trash, and that's why he had to buy her a purse. She's saying, why do you want to ruin your life with a person like that? He's saying, Mom, enough now, enough. I'm going to sell the house. Mom, please stop talking like that. And he's telling his mom, you'll tell that to Dr. Phil.
Let me say first off, I am so sorry that you are being treated that way. And Pierre, shame on you for being a party to that. I tell you what, if you can't stand up for your wife, if you can't get a backbone, I don't give a damn how many cars she buys you. That's just wrong, and to be a part of that, you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know what else to say to you.
I agree. When I see it like that, now, removed from it and I watch it, I can't believe that I act like that. I can't believe it.
What do you think about that?
He doesn't get it. They don't get it. They don't take anything that I say seriously. Or.
What do you say about that? You're talking about her being unhealthy and mentally ill and psychologically unstable. It seems to me that what you're doing is mean and vicious and cruel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I did
That doesn't seem mentally healthy to me. No. You threaten them with selling this house constantly, do you not? I'm going to kick you out and sell this house if you don't do what I want you to do. True? Do you have a job?
I have a job, yes.
Okay, you are able-bodied. You have a job.
We just would have to live in a less expensive house.
Well, you know what?
He won't be able to do it.
But you know what?
And he
I
won't
would
be able to
live
do it.
in a less expensive house because what's happened here is she has your in a Dixie cup, buddy. She has just cut those off. I mean, seriously, get the visual. Come on. Yesterday I talked to a wife who wanted her husband to cut the cord with his mother. Her mother-in-law created a dating profile for her son, paid for divorce lawyers, and even tried to set him up with an ex-girlfriend. Now, we couldn't fit all of that into one show, so here's what happened yesterday.
My wife and mother hate each other's guts.
I know my mother-in-law hates me. She says it frequently.
She's jealous of my sons and my relationship. It's never gonna change. I hate my daughter-in-law.
She told me she's going to destroy my marriage. I said, if you ever try to come between me and my children, I will tell your husband about your affairs.
She says that Rita is crazy, violent, trashy, from hillbilly losers and scummy lowlives. I'm wondering how you're missing the part about how that would not make somebody open their home to you every day.
Rita is probably the most violent person I've ever met in my life. I received a phone call, and my grandchildren were blood-curdling, screaming at the tops of their lungs, "Mommy, stop!" And you can hear her beating the living crap out of my son.
I just snapped and went into full-on attack mode. And I was just punching at him.
She's given the 6-year-old okay to cold cock my mom. Who does something like that to a little old lady?
I said, listen, don't ever hit my child in the face again. And I said, just to let you know, if you ever do, I told her she can hit you right back. And then after that, you're gonna deal with me.
You have made some serious mistakes here. Do you agree? I mean, come on. Any parent with half a brain is going to be objecting to someone that physically attacks their children. I don't care if the children are 18, 28, 48, 58, they're not going to like somebody that's hitting on their kid. So you have to own some of this as well.
I do.
And so you two need to grow up, and you need to give them the chance to do it. It's just that simple. You need to cut it off. And you need to come over there when you're invited, and if they ask you to inspect for cleanliness, then get your white gloves on, and until such a time, you need to dummy up. You need to dummy up. Seriously, I mean, come on, this is so iconic that you have a mother-in-law that comes over and goes,
I don't do it like that.
Well,
for crying out loud.
I mean, you've literally done that on my mini blinds. Literally. Literally.
Is it, your daughter has allergies, am I right? And don't you know that you were told
Hold on. Listen, you've got to have some insight here. You just said the key word, your daughter.
My granddaughter.
Do you honestly not believe that this woman cares about her daughter's health?
I know she cares about my granddaughter's health.
Do you think that nobody is capable of managing that but you? I said everything I've just said, and you said, but she's my granddaughter. I understand that. As a grandparent, I understand that. But you aren't respecting the boundary. You have to let them live their life. And if you don't, the bridge will be burned and you are going to be on the outside looking in. What would have to happen for you to walk out of here and say, wow, that went really, really well?
Rita owes me, and I've never, ever, Rita has never said, I'm sorry, Deb, for trying to destroy your life and say those awful betrayal things. To tell me that I caused Rachel's death. That cut so deep inside my heart.
That's what you're holding on to, and it's not even true.
Know, I'm holding on to the fact that she would go into a courtroom and stare at my husband and betray a confidence to try and ruin my marriage just because she's unhappy.
Okay, so what would have to happen here for this to go well for you would be for her to apologize for outing something about your marriage, for implying that you contributed to your daughter's death, and for other just all manner of unkind things that she said to you. You would like that apology. And then you would like her to leave.
No, I don't want her to leave.
No, wait a minute. Now listen, I'm trying to get us to the point where there is some opportunity for some healing in this situation. And that means that you have to be willing to hear some things you don't want to hear. You have to be willing to hear some things you don't want to hear.
Bring it.
You have to be willing to hear some things you don't want to hear.
I want her to recognize the deep betrayal, okay? Just how hurtful words are to me, that you've said to me, that no one's ever talked to me like that, Rita, in my entire life.
You know what's funny about that, Deb, to me, is that the words that you're talking about, you took two different conversations that we had and you morphed it into what you wanted it to be. I never said that. My exact words to you in that moment were, would you prefer that I parent my children the way that you did your children, to where they're never happy at home? I said, you have complained that you wish Rachel would have wanted to spend more time at home, and I said, you created that. She always had to be going. All of your children, they're busy, busy, busy. They have to go, they have to spend money, they have to have this and that to be happy. I want to install in my children that they can be happy being still, just being with their family.
Okay,
That was what I said to you. And I said you were loving Travis to death, is what I said to you. Is that you're loving your son to death in context with Travis and his addiction.
Can I say two things here? One is, I think you got a full-time job raising your children without trying to raise hers, okay? She doesn't need your advice on how to raise her children. So, and you're frankly not qualified to be telling her what she needs to do and not do. I, on the other hand, am qualified, so I want to say some things. And the first thing I want to say is I cannot even imagine, I just cannot even imagine the pain of losing a child in the way that you have. And I'm not, Deb, going to tell you that I know how you feel, because unless you've been there, you just can't know. And so she is permitted some hypersensitivity to whatever words you chose when you were pontificating about her parenting. I get that, and I truly am sorry for your loss. Are you willing to forgive her for the things that she said or done that clearly are inappropriate? You could convict her in a court of law. There's no doubt you've got the goods. She hit your kid. She called you names. She said ugly things. There's no question that she has been inappropriate. You win. You're right. The question is, what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to forgive her.
She's not an evil psychopath. If she was, I would tell you. I would tell you, look, you're dealing with an evil psychopath here, and you need to get her out of here. And the same thing here. Look, I'm not saying that she loves in the right way, but there's no question that her intention is good. She does love her son. She does love your children.
I know.
And I promise you, if all of a sudden you were zapped off of this world, there is not a person on the globe that would stand between danger and your children more so than this woman right here.